That is the tried and true. Oh,
You son of a biscuit-eating bulldog.
With the French toast.
You think I wouldn't find out about your little doo-doo head cootie queen?
Who are you calling a cootie queen, you lit liquor?
Oh, you kumquat!
You're overreacting.
No, you're overreacting when I put your convertible into a wood chipper. Stinky McStink face! Oh, you hoboken. Fabulous! New orbit runs through immensely clean standard dirty map. For a good, clean feeling, no matter what.
That was Nick's selection.
yes.
UTSA does not support or condone statement comment from. Alright,
I love that when I was
where's
growing up.
my, just doing one, right?
You really want? I don't know which. Yeah, they both of them.
Humor, as long as it doesn't overshadow the product or brand. If they remember the appeal, remember that's the vampire effect. And if it lacks creative execution, so if they remember the brand, but they don't remember the, I mean, if they remember the humorous appeal, but they don't remember the brand, then it's not going to work, and you don't have the creative execution. And you want to know why the humor is there. That's why the A1 was so critical in that ad, because that's the reason why that guy did that. Okay, that's your creative execution. All right, this next one, here, am I going to show it?
It was there a second ago.
I see it up there.
It's up there, but it's not behind us.
Look back there, you guys. See if it works back there.
Yeah, we can try to play it. If we get sound.
Look back there. Okay, I'm going to show you two ads to illustrate this concept. That was the first one.
The tests are completed. The results are in. The all-new Kia Sedona is the first and only minivan to earn both the Insurance Institute's top safety bid and the government's 5-star crash safety rating in all 4 categories. The all-new Kia Sedona, the highest safety-rated minivan ever built. And with a 10-year warranty and this special offer, it's also the best value on the road.
Okay. Technique.
I got it. Don't worry.
Wait. Guess it.
Facts? Fear.
Fear appeals. Fear appeals. Conventional thought. Conventional thought or guidelines was not too graphic, not too impactful. If you showed blood and anything gory, etc., people will turn away. They put up what's called their perceptual defenses, particularly for like negative things like tobacco products and stuff. If you were to talk about heart disease and lung cancer and showed a lung that had, people don't, it doesn't affect behavior because they just turn away from it. It's like they put up these barriers. Such that, see if you can pull up crash test dummies on YouTube.
Love that one.
Back in the day, there wasn't a law to buckle your seatbelt. There were PSAs recommending you buckle your seatbelt to save lives. And people still didn't buckle their seatbelts to the point that they passed a law to make it so you had to buckle your seatbelts. But if you showed car crashes that were too graphic, it didn't have a positive effect. So these guys came out on their PSAs and did it.
Information into a source of future
The crash test dummies were invented
really matters.
to,
1, 2, 1, 2. Larry, this simple exercise to help you stay healthy, which keeps medical costs down.
But you gotta do it every day, Vince. Or you'll get out of shape fast.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
okay, that campaign ran for a long time, and they used humor to try to get through to you. So graphic appeals are considered to be too intense. Now, let me ask you a question. I just showed you 2 ads with fear appeals. Do you remember the brands?
Yes, Kia.
Vera, do you remember them both?
Kia is the only one.
And a minivan, I don't remember the brand of the minivan, but it's a minivan.
I don't remember the other one.
Okay, what were the brands?
They were Jetta and Kia, but I only remembered Kia.
Okay, you just illustrated the main point and the main obstacle to advertising, low attention levels. Jetta is a Volkswagen brand. Kia is a different brand. And the Jetta ad was what?
Crash.
The crash. Okay. That ad, when it hit, it was like 2006, something like that. It was from a small outfit out of Miami called Crispin Porter. And it was not well received. People didn't like it. Do you have to like an ad? Does that have to be liked to be effective?
Nope.
No. And the Volkswagen, since it had such low likability scores on it, and USA Today had an ad meter, and it's ranked low on it, and it disturbed people that they were going to discontinue the ad, not do any more, kill the campaign, and put the account under review. Until something happened. Nick?
Sales went up.
They started moving some Jettas, and their websites almost crashed with all the people inquiring about it. They said, hey, wait, maybe we got something. So then they made a campaign out of it. Well, this got Crispin Porter a lot of notoriety as being an edgy shop. They're willing to take risk as an edgy shop. And when that happens, then they came up with, can you guys remember that Burger King campaign where it had the creepy king with
Yes.
the big mask head thing? And he's in all kinds of weird, like he's a stalker guy, you know? And that's one of their campaigns. So they do edgy work. Well, they became, based on this Volkswagen campaign, ad agency's agency of the year back in like 2008 or something like that. Ended up having an office opened in New York and then one in Denver, and one of my students worked for the office in Denver. She was the ex-president of the AMA here on the campus, so that's kind of cool.
Very
Fear appeals. We good? All right. Now, think of that as reinforcement from your learning theories. You can see, you can fit your learning theories and maybe more than one on several of these campaigns. All right, hit the next one, Nick.
I'm a PC. We've got a little network going here, and it was very easy to set up.
There's gonna be 2 ads here too.
We share an internet connection and all sorts of things we do together. Who now? Who's this? What's
Oh, this is that new digital camera from Japan. It just came out. How'd you watch it?
you speak her language?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It really just works with Mac. They got the little.
Buongiorno. Hello.
No one in the undergrad class understood that. They thought it was about the camera until they saw this. I'm not kidding you. You weren't in the class, you were talking to that other guy, but it irked me so hard.
Let it run. There's 2 ads.
That's the safety of all-wheel drive standard. The all-wheel drive Subaru Outback. Because the safety of all-wheel drive shouldn't be an option. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
got it? All right. The technique, do you want to flip the page over and write this? The technique, anybody? Say it again?
Comparison?
Comparative technique, famous technique. Ogilvy hated comparative ads. Comparative ads should never be used by the market leader. Only number 2 and down, especially if you're a newcomer and you're trying to get into the evoked set, the consideration set of the target market. But comparative ads, never for number 1. And he said, just like a famous football coach, Woody Hayes used to say, I don't pass the ball, I run the ball. When you pass, 3 things happen and 2 are bad. Ogilvy said when you do a comparative technique, 6 things happens and 5 are bad. It could be A, misinterpreted as an ad for your competition. And why? Low attention levels. Look at how you guys mixed up those ones that we just saw. And you're in an advertising class watching it. What if you were at home making dinner and the TV was on? Or going through your notes or something, or on your phone? I teach advertising, but if I'm looking on my phone, I miss everything. And it's on there right there. Okay. What did you put next, Nick?
Go next.
I can't read it. What did you say?
Oh. It went real blurry there for a second. It says, never used by a market leader.
Okay, yeah.
And 6 things happen and 5 are bad. David O.G.
If you disparage the competition, consumers don't like it. Just like when a politician slings mud, they get mud on themselves. So you disparage the competition, they don't like it. Oh, one I didn't put in the other class. What if you do a comparative technique against a Procter & Gamble product? Are they going to sit there and take it? Okay, next one, you can open yourself up to counterattack. And then hold up one of those flare pens. All right, ladies, flare pen, buy it. They're easy to store. Hira, is that a good benefit? Easy to store? Is it that easy to store? Does it differentiate itself from any other pens by saying easy to store? My point is, it needs to be, write this down, Nick, salient, evaluative criteria. It needs to be salient, evaluative criteria. And that means something important to the consumer. Otherwise, why are you making the comparison? And lastly, the consumer must be able to verify the benefit. The consumer must be able to verify the benefit. It's got to be self-evident, and you can't have an ad where the consumer does detective work. There's low attention levels. All right. We good? We're going to stop there. It's been a pleasure meeting your higher educational needs. All right, next week we'll finish up the ad execution techniques. There's 21 of them. Give you an idea. You can use those as material for your projects. And then we'll go over the